This is Severe MMA, and we're just a few days out from Marc Diakiese flying out to Albany, New York for Frankie Perez.
Yeah.
In your second UFC fight.
Yeah.
Are you surprised it's come around so quick, or is this exactly what you wanted?
No, this is exactly what I wanted. You know, honestly, I feel great that they're giving me this turnaround so quickly. So I'm just looking forward to going out there and putting on another show.
Frankie Perez, this is a guy that there was a lot of talk about this kid. A couple of years ago,
Yeah.
He's gone like 2-2 in the last 4. His last win, I think, was against Sam Stout. Then he retires.
2-2.
2-2 in his last 4.
Oh, yeah.
10-2 overall, I
Yeah.
think. Then he retires and then he comes back.
Yeah.
What does that tell you about his mentality?
To me, it was just quitting on a win. I think I've said this before. To me, just that shows some sign of a weakness by just retiring after the win, and then he's only young, a very young age, retiring. So I don't think it's got the right mentality. The one I have got. I think if you're in this, you got to be in it all. Don't have one foot out and thinking you can come back in whenever you want. I don't think it works like that.
I'm going to interrupt you because I think he was saying, forgive me if my facts are wrong, but he said something about it was like the financial pressures of being a fighter and blah, blah, blah. Surely they're the same pressures that you face, the same pressures that, is it any different from him, or is it just an excuse?
To me, that's an excuse. All the fights fake stuff. I do believe you got to start somewhere. You got to start building yourself up, and you're on that stage. That's where you start making your money, your financial. You're trying to, be easy off. But he wasn't doing that. It was in the win, and thought he should retire. But I didn't see the reason to retire. So I thought just his weakness. Yeah.
Obviously, he fights with out of the Ricardo Almeida camp. Well-rounded compound in New Jersey. New Jersey's going to be very close to Albany, New York. You're walking into enemy territory. Is that a new experience for you? It's not often that you've gone in and been the guy, going into someone's hometown. Does that feel different?
I think it will feel different. Saying that, I know obviously I've been out of country, but thinking about it, most of my fights I've always been in my opponent's hometown, so I don't think it makes any difference to me. All I've got to do is just go out there and do what I do best and get the win.
Let's look at your last performance, the UFC debut, at the Henderson and Bisping Fight Night, the UFC 204, sorry. You were pretty harsh on, afterwards we caught up with you. I was expecting an ecstatic, my debut, woo, 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 but you were critical even then of the performance. Now you've had a chance to look back at it. Are you still as critical? Are you still kind of as down on it, or can you see the positives there other than...
I can see the positive. Yeah, it was good. I got the win, get the win out of the way. But always got to look at a positive side, a negative side, like where you went wrong. And I've seen what I went wrong, which I've constantly working on. And there's other areas that I need to improve on. So it was just great to get that win out of the way. But I'm looking forward to getting out there again and put a show on.
Frankie Perez, how is he different from the last guy? What does he bring to the table that might be different, or does that not bother you?
It doesn't really bother me. Whatever he brings in it. And we're coming to fight, but I know I'm gonna come out on top, so it doesn't really matter what it brings.
Off camera, we were teasing a little bit about the bonus that I'm looking for that KO.
Yeah.
Is that is this fight you're coming in the stoppage again?
Not just this one, but every fight I'm going out, I'm looking to finish the guys. It seems a lot easier to finish the guys than trying to go on points. Yeah. So I'm looking to finish every time.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
So punch him, he doesn't get up, the fight's over. Look, you spoke to some of our colleagues a week or so ago. You spoke to Niall McGrath at Talking Brawls, and you were saying that, when this one's done, there are people you've got your eye on. There are people that you want. There are people that, there are fighters that you think you should be in there with. And he couldn't get a name out of you.
You won't get a name either. When I get this out of the way first, we're calling them out.
Top 10? You give us,
you never know. It depends. You never know. He wants to know. You never know.
And in that case, so you're not going to give us. Is that going to be something that you do sort of, a couple of weeks after the fight, or are you going to do that in the cage?
Straight away in the cage, I'll be calling them out.
I got to tell you, I'm a little bit jealous. I'm thinking it's either going to be Rogan or Anik or somebody who gets that. What message you've got for the... And I never asked you. Did you watch Conor and Eddie, and what did you think of that fight?
I watched it, and I thought it was quite good for me, to be honest. It got the win, but because I noticed, what's his name, Frankie.
Yeah.
he likes to use his teammates a lot, and then I seen he lost like that. So to me, it just made me think, you know what, we're quite shit. I mean, all that, so it just go good for me.
Conor may be, and I've got to talk Conor because he's the light heavyweight champion. Light heavyweight. I've just put him up. He could probably
Stop picking him up.
Sorry, he's the lightweight champ now in your division. But there were rumors circulating that you might be considering maybe a cut to feather. Is there still?
We'll see. At the moment, I seem to be growing, not coming back down. I seem to be growing, so we'll see. All depends.
Not the first UK two-weight champion take both his belts.
You never know. You never know. We'll see how we keep going. You know, if it means me find that fucking Conor, then I'll go for it. But we'll see. You never know.
You got Christmas coming up.
Yeah.
You've said again that you're going to go away. You're going to spend a week with family for Christmas. You know, the fight goes the way you want, December 10th. Can we expect another quick turnaround? You know, March, London.
Definitely. I'm looking at I've seen a few cards in January. You know, like I said, I'm young. I'm trying to stay fit, stay ready. Whenever fight comes out, I'm looking to take it. So I've seen the January cards. I've seen the March. So them two, I'm willing to jump in again.
Is it given the choice? Like, if they said you can pick one or the other, would you wait for would you wait to fight in the UK again?
I love both if I can. I love both. Honestly, as long as I come out injury free, I'm going to step back in again. You know, I'm trying to stay busy as I can. I'm young. This is the time, you know, to put it all.
You've put in spectacular performances the last 4 fights. There's no reason to believe you're not going to put in another spectacular performance on the 10th. I can remember asking you a year ago where you kind of were in your potential, and you said 40, 50%. It's been a year, and you know, now you're in the UFC. How close are we now to seeing you at your full potential?
I think I'm still far from where I want to be. I'm still, you know, UFC is another level as well, so I feel like I'm, you know, I've started to get that confidence. You know, I know where I am in the cage and starting moving. The more of that I get, the more confident I'll be getting, the more experience, and the more, obviously, level I'll be fighting at. So yeah, I'm still making a progress. I'm still, you know, learning.
Marc Diakiese fights UFC Albany, New York, December 10th. Be prepared for a controversial post-fight interview, I hope, where we get to see Marc Diakiese actually put his name in with some of the very, very best in the world. Thank you so much for your time.